we think about how we can move from being reactive into being proactive, using AI, using data, using technology. IFM is short for Integrated Facilities Management. The way services used to be sourced was one by one and with many different suppliers. IFM is the full service scope from one supplier. And there you get into more strategic discussions, broader discussions on how to develop the services. Within IFM, I would say there are 5 major trends emerging. The first trend is the focus on end-user experience, where we move from having a service focus on lowering costs to increasing the quality and the experience of end users to the service. The second one is a focus on flexibility, how we can use facilities in different ways and how we can upscale or downscale the services. Sustainability is the third trend, where the perspective has broadened from being just on environment to cover more areas. The fourth trend is AI and digitalization being built into more or less every service. The fifth trend is new ways of cooperating, where the contracts cover more sharing of risk, more sharing of rewards, and more transparent ways of working. When it comes to the service user experience, we get a lot of inspiration from what is happening in the consumer market. So whatever the consumers expect at home, they expect as a service at work. And there we can gain a lot of input. When it comes to flexibility, it is important not to think about it generically, but to move into scenarios. What different uses do we want from our facilities? How do we want to be able to scale up services, scale down services, and think about those scenarios and create solutions that are targeted for them. Then flexibility becomes a little bit easier to work with. In the field of sustainability, there are lots of certifications, accreditations that you can use as a guide when applying targets, because targets are key to build your plans for how to work with sustainability. When we think about AI and digitalization, we think about how we can move from being reactive, following schedules, following fixed times for doing different things, into being proactive, using AI, using data, using technology to do stuff when it's needed and not before. That increases quality and that lowers cost. When it comes to the new ways of cooperating, we used to think of contracting as a zero-sum game, but today we're thinking more about what objectives do we want to achieve together, how can we share the risks, how can we share the rewards, and how can we build that into a transparent way of cooperating. It's much more difficult, but also much more fun to work that way. I'm really happy about how sustainability has widened and opened up. It is interesting to working with environmental issues and important, but working with how we work with suppliers, how we work with employees is really, really important to me. And the way that we these days cooperate with the customers to create circumstances for our employees and getting people that are far away from the labor market into the workforce is really important to me. I'm really happy about all the good that the FM industry can do here.